Hi everyone, this is April with Flowers from the Foss family. We garden in zone 4A, and I usually am not in the videos because I'm taking the video and it's a lot of work to set up all the things I need to do to take the video. So I just like to go around, take the video, and then do a voiceover. So I don't even know if you can hear my voice very good. But I just wanted to put a face to the video, and I hope you enjoy the garden tour. So here we are, and I took this video almost a week ago, so things have really bloomed since this video, and so I'm going to try and take another one and post it within the next couple days. But this was about a week ago, and I'm going to just take a tour of the garden here. Our wormwood is not looking that great. We have some foxgloves coming up in the hydrangea there, and we're just gonna let them grow and they'll bloom next year, probably, hopefully. We have some drumstick alliums coming up through those foxgloves, phlox that will bloom, not yet though, some lobelia, and these really cute swans that my sister bought for me for my birthday last year, I believe. Yeah. So I wasn't so sure that these were going to live because they looked horrible, but they are looking good and they like it there. I'll probably move them around here and there throughout the summer. Our purple sand cherry is looking really good. Although I did notice looking out from my kitchen window that it had some aphids on the tips of the branches, which is really weird. There's November. She's always around, being her cute little self. So funny when they lose their front teeth, they look so different. Anyway, I put a petunia on a stand there, and that brand of petunias, it's not that great, but it's color, and we're just gonna
taking a video.
Let it grow. I'll probably move it. We took a rose out from underneath there. It barely survived the winter, and so Matt planted it somewhere else. The foxgloves are still going strong and looking so good. I love them. They're so full. And then the ones in the back, we have a bunch in the backyard too, and they don't look as full. So I don't know, it's weird. The backyard is behind. It's like a whole different climate back there, so maybe that's why, I don't know. And it is like a little different climate right here, so we're in zone 4, but I would say here, right in the house, right in front of the house here, well, it's on the side of the house, it's like a microclimate. It's like a zone 5 probably. Yeah, that's kind of funny that we can grow some things and then some things just die. So I don't know. There's some flowering oregano, and I am surprised that came back. So that is going to look so cute. I think it has like lavender flowers on it when it blooms. Our dahlias, they're cafe au lait dahlias, so they're really big, and I can't wait for those to bloom, but they take a while. They won't bloom till way later this summer. So some purple fountain grass. We've never tried fountain grass in the box before, so I'm excited to see how that looks. And I'm like, oh, my shadow's in here, so I gotta go a different way. So we will cut to a different part of the garden. But first we're going to catch Matt here. Wave. I tell him to wave.
Wave.
He doesn't like being on video, but too bad, you're on. As I've said before, our garden is new. This is the 5th full year in the garden. We had nothing growing except for that bush right there. It came with the house, and then we had some lilac bushes. And we've lived here for almost 30 years, and we didn't do anything in the yard, and we didn't do anything to the outside of the house. And so the outside of the house is, you know, basically paying the price for not taking care of it. So we really need to get on it. But we were too busy raising our 7 children, and we have, you know, we still are raising them. We have a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old. But now we have more time. And so it's become a passion for both of us. I really, really love picking things out and deciding where things go. And Matt really loves working in the garden, getting in the dirt. So we work really well together. This is our, I can't remember if we tried strawberries before, but this year we really wanted to have strawberries in the garden for November to have something to look forward to. And she had her first strawberry the other day, and she was so excited, and she said it tasted really good. So that is so fun for her. I hope it keeps producing, and I hope none of the bunnies that come to the yard frequently find it. We put it behind the thyme there, so maybe it'll be okay. I don't have any idea. Here is some Sweet William, one of my very favorites. They're just so colorful, and they really do smell really, really good, sweet. And this spot, I can't remember now. Last year it did bloom, but I don't think it did the year before. It just was all foliage. And so I hope that it's growing more foliage, because, you know, they die and then it takes a year for them to, you know, grow their leaves, and then they bloom the next year. So hopefully we get some more leaves. It's kind of windy in this video, and I'm trying a different setting on the camera, and hopefully it works a little bit better. I do have all the things that you need to take videos, but I'm just not good at it, and I'm not using all of them because I don't really know how. I need someone who's a professional, because I am not. Look at all the peonies. I love the peonies. They're so pretty. The Carl Rosenfield, the one that's like bright magenta, it's so strong, and it just stands so well. We have a little cage, but it's like down on the bottom, and so it's standing really, you know, really well. The foxgloves give me so much happiness in this garden. Like I said before, we had some, but this year they have just exploded everywhere, and I love it because it's such a cottagey look, and it's so whimsical, and they're just so different looking, and the different colors, and I really love how colorful our garden is. And yeah, it needs there's a lot of empty spaces, and there's a lot of work, but I just, like I said, it's 5 years old, and this was all grass, and now it's so many flowers. These are just flopping all over because they're so big and heavy, and so I will need to buy a better cage for those. I'm trying to show you how big they're really big, and they're so pretty. So I hope it just becomes stronger, but I really don't know if that happens year after year, so I guess I will find out. We also have a bunch of bachelor buttons that self-seed everywhere, and we just, for the most part, let them go because you don't really see that blue color around. The flax is blue, but it's like a different blue, so I just like to leave them, and the whimsical look is something I really, really love. Our Sonic Bloom Weigela is just blooming away, and hopefully that's supposed to get 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, so I hope it does do that because that's a good space right there. And then I'm showing you that there's one behind that Echinops globe thistle back there, so that will take a nice, you know, hopefully it fills up that spot. We're on top of a hill, and we're trying to like kind of create a secret garden, quote unquote. It won't really be secret, obviously, but just kind of like, being inside our garden. Hopefully that happens for us. The Shasta daisies also, we had just a little tiny Shasta daisy bunch, and now it's like just growing everywhere, and I'm sure it'll get out of control at some point. There'll be too much, but right now it's the perfect whimsical look for our garden. And this spot is always my favorite, going down this little path, this pebble path. We need to actually put more what is it, pea gravel? We need more. That's my favorite spot to look down. You know, it just is so pretty. We're waiting for the alyssum to grow, though. It's really taking a long time. So we have quite a bit of Shasta daisies here growing through the Sweet William. And the Sweet William is so pretty. The colors is just, I just love that. Here are the Ringo All-Star Roses, and there's 2 different ones. I love them both. And those should get, I think they get like 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide. So that will also, they'll all touch each other. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. November and her kitty, her name's Lola. She loves that kitty, and that kitty loves her. So she always is holding Lola and playing with Lola.
She reminds me of Carmen.
Matt and November sitting and relaxing. While Matt is relaxing, his knees are so dirty because he was doing tons of work in the garden in the backyard. So working hard, taking a break. A view of the garden. I like to kind of back up and show you the whole thing sometimes so you kind of can see where we are. And one of these days I should really put in a little insert of what it looked like before Matt did all this work. I mean, yes, I've done some, but really it's Matt who does all the hard work. Another shot of the roses, and there's a Weigela back there. My Monet, it's really small right now, but it's supposed to get like 2 feet tall and wide, and so it'll be the perfect little spot for that little, you know, Weigela, because it has such a different look to it, variegated leaves. I'll get a shot of it at some point here. This is the lamb's ear, and we usually do not let it bloom, but since we went and saw a beautiful garden in Fort Collins and they let theirs grow like that, I'm like, we have to let it grow because we usually cut them off. Finally, the blue lobelia is starting to bloom because I thought it died. It's just taking a long time, and now I wish I would have moved it up a little bit. Hopefully it gets big enough where I can see it from where I'm sitting. Some GM. That GM is growing so nice and tall. The other 2 are not as tall, and I haven't checked the backs of the tags yet, but I will have to look. So the front 2 are they're the rose GMs, and the back one is a peach. It's in there, and I was like trying to dig in there to show you guys. And there's so many spider webs in there. I'm like, oh my gosh, just don't look at the spider webs. Just don't look close at that. Just get what you gotta look at, get the tag, and get out of there. I've actually become way more tolerant of spiders than I used to be. So that's funny. Yes, I don't like them at all, but they don't scare me as much as they used to. So in the last video, these foxgloves weren't even blooming, and now they are. And I have short and tall varieties of foxgloves, and last year I started some, and I started them around in the garden, and many of them didn't bloom last year, and now they're blooming, and they're so beautiful. I love them. Here's our Nepeta. It's really huge. We have 2 different kinds, and this one is really huge. And I want to move it. So I saw someone with a video of the Nepeta with their peonies, because the peonies and the Nepeta bloom at the same time. And I want to move them. I probably won't be able to because I already got stuff in front of my peonies. So we'll see if I get to it. In the back, you can see one of my favorite things is the 9-bark. I can't wait to show you that. It is on this video. The chives are going over, but November loves taking those and chewing on those, and we let her do that, but they're ready to be cut back. There are a bunch of hydrangeas, and I'll tell the names when they bloom. They're growing their not flowers, but they're growing their buds now, so they will bloom soon, but it's not really worth it to go through them when you can't really see how cute they are. All the different kinds of foxgloves and colors, and it's just one of my favorite things that there's so many different shades of the colors. Sorry about that, zooming in and out. Some Sweet William, and there's a lilac, so we had 3 of them, and now we only have 1, and this one we're keeping, just kind of block the neighbors. There is an Airbnb right next door when we do not like that, but what are we going to do about it? There used to be neighbors there that lived for, I don't know, like 60 years. And they have passed on now, sadly. And, we really liked our neighbors, Bob and Kay. And they just were old and passed on. And then someone bought it and made it into an Airbnb. And we're just doing our best with that, I guess. There's a Sonic Bloom hydrangea there up on the hill, and that is also supposed to, did I say hydrangea? I meant Sonic Bloom Weigela. It's supposed to get 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, and we bought that last year and planted that last year, and then we bought another one this year and planted it next to it, so it'll be kind of like one big bush. Here's this little tiny path that kind of goes around some of the path is getting overgrown now, but I guess it is good to have little spots where you can step into the garden. There are still baby lupin foliage everywhere that hasn't bloomed, so it'll probably bloom next year if it survives the winter. This is the Weigela that I talked about in the last video that the cats have just ruined. I have caught several neighborhood cats coming over to that thing and just ramming around on it and eating the blooms, and just, I don't know what they're doing. So I fenced it up, and then we put another darker fence around it. And so because it's never going to survive if the cats keep throwing themselves into it. So we're trying to help it a little bit, and I hope it works. That was a 9-bark, a ginger wine 9-bark, and a little tiny Weigela that we had moved because it was just not getting any sun. Matt did cut down the ash tree a little bit more, and it was just so overgrown there. It had so many baby branches coming out, so he took care of that. Here's another span. We rarely get inside this part where all these foxgloves are. There are a lot of weeds right there, and it needs to be weeded out. But it's tons of foxgloves right there. And the peonies are going over now, those big Carl Rosenfield ones. These are some grasses. I think they are, I'm not even going to attempt to tell you because I can't remember what they are. Some lupin. We did cut some of the spent lupin flowers, and then we got another flush of blooms, and they're smaller and they're not as prolific, but they're color, and I will take it. There is the 9-bark, the ginger wine 9-bark. It's peak right now in this video. And I told Matt, I'm like, this is when I'm going to take a video of it because it's peak right now. And this is when it's going to look its best because, so that was a week ago. And now today, as I'm doing this video, it is going over now. It's still really cute. So the flowers turn a dark, they're dying, but it's still cute. Here's a hukra that I shared. There's 3 right there. This is a Strontia, I think it's called. It's either a Strontia or, no, I think it is a Strontia. And we have several of these throughout the garden, and they're just, they're super, super cute, but they're not as like flushed out with blooms as some of the people that I see on YouTube that I watch. They're really cute, but they're not as prolific as I would like them to be. Maybe they will be someday. 2 hydrangeas flanking the path. That is no longer a path. The path is now overgrown. Some sedum there in the front. The peony again. It's so bright. It's such a bright, beautiful color in the garden. I just can't get enough of that, and I might need to buy another one. So we leave it after the flowers are done. We cut the flowers off and we leave the foliage because the foliage kind of turns to like a fall color, and we will leave it. Some lilies that will bloom in a couple weeks. Some echinops, a little tiny wine 9-bark, I think it's called. There's tons of self-seeded echinacea right here. We used to have a big, lovely, tall bushel of echinacea right there, and it lasted, I think, like maybe 2 seasons, maybe. And then it died, and I don't know if that's what happens or what, but it died, and then we got all these baby echinacea everywhere, and we're just gonna let it go for now because there's nothing big enough right there, and echinacea get tall. Although we did plant a pumpkin plant back there. We've never done pumpkin, and I'm kind of scared because I think they take over. Some yellow lilies that will bloom, and some cute penstemon, the ginger wine 9-bark, the foxgloves in the back. There's Matthew. He doesn't want to be on video, but I'm getting him anyways. Here we are back at the 9-bark, but first I'm going to show you these penstemon. So like I've said in the last video, we bought 1 penstemon. It's been there, I think we bought it the first summer that we started this garden, and then never has it reseeded except for last summer. Last summer it reseeded and we left them and they survived the winter. And there was one that came back like a different color. It's a lighter color. It's more like a pale, pale lavender. So we love that it just seeded itself. A foxglove there. You can almost not see that. It's barely, you can barely tell it's in there. So if you look closely at the blooms, they're just the cutest little poof of pink and white and just so cute. It's so full. I can't believe how full this 9-bark is with blooms. It's the cutest thing. It's very, very tall. I have Matt come and stand next to it because you can't really tell how tall things are until you stand next to them. Sorry about that. If you can hear that car in the background, it's a neighbor. Okay, so here's Matt standing next. So Matt is like 6'4", and we just can't get over how tall this 9-bark got. And if we could go back, we would plant all 9-barks right on this hill, so we would be like in this secret little garden that we're trying to create. Because the hydrangeas, I think, are not going to get any taller than they are, unfortunately. So we keep going back and forth if we should move them, because they are the smooth hydrangeas, the white ones, and they are so beautiful, but they always burn. So I don't think that's a good place for them, but they've been here since the beginning, and I'm just like, oh, he doesn't want to move them. It's a lot of work to move them, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe someday we will. They're very pretty, though, when they bloom. So I'm going to show you the foxgloves. The one on the edge there just seated itself there, and we let it go, showing you another look at a close-up of the 9-bark, because I really just can't get enough of it. And like I said, now it's going over, so the blooms are like a dark red now, but it's still cute. It's like cascading down the hill, which is okay. So then we can have more things inside the garden there. So that's okay. Some spent alliums. We had a bunch right there when we planted them a couple years ago, and we only got one. So inside our spirea, there were 2 lupin, and we let them grow, but now I'm like, oh, the spirea looks like it's having a hard life right there. And the little flowers on there are so cute. Some lupin. Like I said, we cut some blooms and we're leaving them because they will self-seed around, and that's what we want. All the lupin. Give me all the lupin. I love it. Spanning out. You can kind of see what is going on here. We are a single family home, but we have 7 children and we have a lot of cars, and 4 of them are parked in our driveway right now, and 1 of them is down on the road. The grass needs some work. It's like all burnt up. There's the Alfredo viburnum. Just loving how compact that viburnum is. We bought another viburnum a couple days ago, and we're gonna put it in the back, and I wonder if it's going to be as compact as this one. Some heuchera. I'm going to try and get in there and see what it is called. Peach berry ice. So I bought 3 of them, and I just put them around this Alfredo, and I hope they kind of like grow bigger than what they are. I don't know. I like how they look because the Alfredo in the fall gets like that color. So that was kind of my thought process there. The smoke bush is growing into the hydrangea, and Matt actually put a stake in there the other day. On this video, it's not in there, but it's kind of pulled away from the hydrangea a little bit. So there's so much thyme. Matt is like, loves the thyme. He's the one that wanted to plant the thyme, and so the thyme is planted, and it was a little tiny plant and has literally spread everywhere. The thyme is taking over my life, and so he loves it, and I'm like, there's too much of it. It's everywhere. Get that thyme out of here. So that's like our little, it's not a fight obviously, but I'm like, there's too much, you need to get it out. And he's like, I like it, someday it's gonna be covered and you're gonna be glad that we don't have to mow the grass. And I'm like, there's just too much of it. It's going in my garden and it self seeds everywhere. Like, we need to not have so much time. So it is cute when it blooms, but too much. Okay, now I'm going to take you into the backyard, and Matt has actually done a lot of work back here. This was like a week ago, and he's done even more work. He was on vacation, and so he's just been working away at the backyard because the backyard got a little bit neglected, and it's a little bit behind compared to the front yard. So he's working hard, and it looks really, really good. Some foxgloves. Like I said, the foxgloves are not as prolific. That's probably not the right word. Well, maybe. They don't have as many blooms as the ones in the front, but I still love them. They're still a whimsical look back here. Cottage garden look. I love it. This part of the garden gets a lot of sun later in the day. We usually, actually, when we first started this garden 5 years ago, what started it was dahlias. I wanted dahlias. We planted dahlias in like a row, and like the floret, I don't know what, like I had no idea what I was doing. I've never done anything, and I just saw a video that Floret had done, and she was planting dahlias. I'm like, I want dahlias. So I ordered dahlias, and we bought a bunch of them, and we planted them, and so we had a bunch of dahlias that first year. And then it's just became like this huge garden in the backyard, which kind of is, sometimes it feels like a little too much garden for us because the time that we spend is mostly in the front garden. And so I'm not ready to give it up because it's just so pretty. I'm like, why? I know, like, Matt really loves gardening, and obviously he has a full-time job. And so on his spare time, when he's off from work, he likes being in the garden. and it brings me so much happiness, and it's something we so much enjoy together, like picking things out and where are we going to put them and how do these things look together. And we have always started seeds in the house, and we didn't get to this year because we are renovating a bathroom, and it's right next to where we do our seeds, and there's just like no way we're gonna do all that together, and so it was just not doable this year. So I hope that everything gets done this year for us so we can start seeds again next year. And I had started a little feverfew a couple years ago, and now the feverfew is spreading everywhere, and I really love how the feverfew is another whimsical look. It's just really cute, and it's, you know, have self-seeded many places in the garden, and I'm going to let it until it's just too much. And so we have a big peony bush back there and a huge swath of, is that even the right word, of Sweet William. It is so big. There's so many different colors. It's so beautiful. And I would be happy if like this whole front part of this garden was Sweet William, because it's so pretty, and I hope that it just goes everywhere. Here is the peony up close. So this is the peony, like I've stated before, from our neighbor who had this peony. She says that it was at least 50 years old, and that was over 5 years ago, I believe. About 5 years ago. So so we took a big chunk, and it's grown a lot, and then we have 2 other little divisions in the front yard. And taking a closer look at the Sweet William, I think there's like 5 different colors, showing you just like what it looks like back here. In the years past, because we started seeds in the house, this, like, the whole thing was covered. Like, there were annuals everywhere. One of my favorite things was cosmos. I had so many cosmos, and they're my favorite, and they do self-seed, and so we had quite a bit of them, you know, the years after. And this year I think we only found a few. So next year I'm starting cosmos because that's one of my favorite things, and I hope they self-seed all over the place. So we were kind of just thinking, what should we do with this backyard garden? We have some sedum there on the path, the thyme path. We have some grasses that get pretty tall and big. We have some alliums here, and there's foxgloves planted here and there, and some coreopsis, I think it's called. I can't quite remember. That's a 9-bark. I think that 9-bark is called Little Devil. And it's kind of out of order here, but here I am right on the back porch again, and we call it the front garden, but it's basically the side of our house, where we spend all our time. There's Matt again working in the garden. This is a different day. Obviously, he has Christmas jammies on, but I wanted to show you like what we have going on. So we have this hanging basket, and I hope it just gets more prolific than what it is. I forget about it up there a lot. So, and then we have this vine growing on the house. We have these little pots on our house. So these 2 front ones are Mojave, I think you call it. And last year I searched and searched for these, and I couldn't find it, so I had planted something else in there that didn't do well. But those grow really good on our house. It gets very hot on our porch, and so I hope they do well this year. I've never tried agerenum on there, or lobelia, I don't think, so they might get way too hot and they might burn up, but we're going to try it out. And so that's our front yard garden and a little bit of our back garden. I hope you enjoyed our tour today, and I'll try to do another one soon. Thank you so much for watching.